by choice here?
Bro.
No, I need you to clarify. What do you mean by choice?
Bro,
because humans are not. Wait, one second.
There's a child in someone's womb.
Look.
Not even.
You have no.
They
Wait,
said the
one second.
father's loins, so it's sperm, bro.
One second. Choice here.
Yeah.
We believe that you'll only be accountable at the age of accountability.
But
okay.
He just said
if you die before,
Muhammad just said differently. That hadith said differently.
Fixed here meaning universal related. That God knows this will happen. Not that God said, I allowed for adultery to take place and therefore I fixed it. He didn't say that.
God created for paradise those who are fit for it while they are yet in their father's loins, and created for hell those who are to go to hell.
Yes, and that's regarding?
That's people, bro.
No, universe related will. You don't know the distinction, my brother. You don't know the distinction. This is why if you're going to challenge on Islamic theology, you first have to understand our position.
But
one second.
You're not giving a clear hold on.
I have. No. This shows to me. This shows to me that you're not sincere. Because I've already told you. I've already said we acknowledge that Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has two different types of will. Irada Shari'iyah. You're not let me complete.
What you've said about...
Am I allowed to solidify my position first?
No, I do understand your position. What I'm trying...
No, you're not. Because clearly you're straw manning. You're coming from your paradigm. Remember, you're doing internal critique. So you have to engage in my paradigm, not from your paradigm.
Yeah,
what is my paradigm regarding Qadr?
You're saying that there is a universal decreed will.
Which is what?
Which is what... Well, according to these hadith...
No. I want you to tell me the general definition.
That God wills for us to do good.
No. Who told you that? See, you haven't understood a single word. That's why I'm wasting my time.
Okay, go on.
That's why I'm wasting my time.
Okay, go on. Go again.
Okay, we believe in two different types of will. The first is His legislative will. Allah willed, Allah decreed, Allah commanded for the humans to do good and stay away from evil. Meaning, wait, no, you have.
I said that.
I'll tell you why.
The first one was that Allah wills for people to do good.
Oh my days.
That was the first one. You just said.
I'm being it's general. I'm giving you specific definition, not the general definition. I'm giving you a specific definition.
Okay.
There's a legislative will, meaning whatever Allah legislated us, that is what we're going to be accountable. Okay. For example, Allah legislated us in the Quran and the Sunnah to worship none but Him. Don't associate partners with Him. Be good to your parents. Stay away from adultery. That is what we'll be accountable for.
Stay away or don't commit.
Stay away from adultery.
Stay away or don't commit.
Okay, yeah. Are you playing semantics now?
I think it's quite important.
You know what? You're such a waste of time, man. You know what? Honestly, if you're going to play semantics with me, then I'm not going to waste my time.
Stay away gives you room to say that. Stay away or don't commit.
I don't talk to people.
Yeah, I know.
Now, you haven't understood our if you know what internal critique is, I'm sorry, but I'm usually but you know, certain people, if you say that I fail to understand, please explain it. I have respect for you. But the fact that you're still going on and still strawmanning my position, that shows you're not sincere. And as a humble individual, as an intellectual I don't know. I'm humble enough to say, in that particular question, I don't know. Let me do my research. I gave the answer. I'm very satisfied, you know. So you have to have intellectual honesty. If you don't know certain things, I don't know. And if you ask me certain questions that I don't know about my own religion, I'm not going to misinform you, because I know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will be accountable. Why did you misguide, what's your name again? Wes. Why did you misguide Wes with false information? Because of you.
Did he fix what you should misguide on?
Exactly.
He would fix what you should misguide on.
Exactly.
Right? So what you would say to Allah is, what you fix that I should misguide.
I'll tell you what. I'll have a sorry, bro. What I want to do, I really want to study Qadr in Islam. And then first understand our position, then challenge our position.
I can shake your hand to say that I enjoyed the conversation, but I don't know if I'm going to study on your...
Okay, you don't know our position.
You you came into our conversations. So then why are you telling me I should challenge when you came here?
Hey, Rehan, get over
No, but
here.
you came here into my conversation.
Right? Get over here.
Rehan, that is a fair point. Rehan.
I entertain you. You can't now tell me I should challenge. You came into this conversation.
Fair point.
But it's okay.
That's not good.
But it's okay.
Rehan, let's be
Now you're
respectful.
okay for you to then
Rehan,
challenge and say I should challenge.
no.
What? I don't understand it. I can even defend that. Where's
No,
your...
but he's right. That's it was an ongoing conversation.
That's fair.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Touche.
That's fine.
Touche.
I want you to study others. You know our Islamic position. And if at any point,
Okay, I have problems. I got problems.
Yeah, I'll
Hey,
do
yo,
what I can.
Rehan, I got problems. Come over here. Come over here.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get to.
Rehan, what's Allah judging you against? Rehan, what is Allah judging you against? You have over there.
oh, sorry, who's is that?
Rehan, what does Allah judge you against?
I don't know who the mics are.
Rehan, after running this conversation with you, what does Allah judge you against? Rehan, what does Allah
Whose mics are those?
I don't see this coming out. From your head.
الحمد لله الحمد لله. Well, they finished the debate. Woo. Yeah.
I got questions.
To go do research about that.
Yeah, because you're not our paradigm.
Yeah, I do.
But I
Yeah, I
tried to
do.
understand it.
No, you
By
might
asking you questions.
You might misunderstood, but you didn't know the distinction.
You don't know them
So
either.
come back.
But at least he's humble enough to admit that.
No, he didn't say he didn't know them. He claims he does know them.
We don't know.
He keeps saying universal will and legislative will, but he doesn't know what he means.
But I will not deliberately win an argument for the sake of
Yeah,
misunderstanding.
you would.
Never do that.
Yes, you would. You always do that.
Come back next week.
Come back next week, Wes.
Hey.
Look into
Huh?
legislative will.
I ain't got one. You want to do my hair?
Our position is
You want to do my hair?
We're not hard determinists, and we're neither.
Yes, you are.
libertarian. We're in between.
You're hard
A
determined.
hybrid.
Yes.
No, you're not.
But you can't distinguish between where the hybrid lies.
So that's why.
That's what I'm trying to get
Look
to.
into next week.
No. If you're just admitting that you cannot actually distinguish between these two different frameworks.
No, I have.
how do-
I have.
You have.
I have.
What's the answer?
So then tell us.
Okay, let me give you the answer. When it comes to Qadr, Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, one of the great scholars, in his book he says that Qadr is one of the secrets of Allah. So I can't give you.
Appeals to mystery.
Wait, one
Appeals
second.
to
One second.
mystery. I
One
love
second.
this.
One second. No,
I love this.
no. What we believe in revealed theology. We only stick to what God and His Messenger told us. We don't go beyond that. Yeah. That applies the same with Allah's attributes. Yeah. Wait, one second. One second. That goes the same with Allah's attributes and names. Yeah. We affirm all of Allah's names and attributes that He revealed in the Quran
You're dodging.
and from the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, in the real sense. But we don't go into the modality or howness. That's up to Allah.
So in other words, you don't know.
No, not that we don't know. We have given the knowledge that God has given us. But do we have complete knowledge? Absolutely not.
So you don't
Absolutely
know. You don't know that hybrid.
No, you
that-
have to qualify.
Wait,
Wait, hang on.
That
You have-
that system that you
see,
just said.
you see, Wes. You see,
Come on, man.
okay, go on, man.
That
Go on,
system
bro.
that you just said,
Yeah.
you are saying that it's a hybrid, but you don't actually know
what the hybrid is.
exactly. You don't know what that is. So
Okay,
in other
you know
words,
what I'm saying?
wait. So in
Okay.
other words,
Okay.
for these situations
Good,
like
good.
adultery, for murder, for lying,
Yeah.
you actually don't know if it's your free will, so the libertarian side, or if it's been fixed by Allah Himself. You don't know for all situations.
No, you misunderstood.
Because you said there's a hybrid that you can't.
Wait.
That's what I was. That's why I was asking the question.
No. You misunderstood, Wes. What I'm not claiming is I know
You said
how.
it was a mystery.
Can you? What I never claimed that I know how the decree of God works. What I'm explaining to you is these are amongst the secrets of God. And I
So
just
you're
explain.
appealing
Wait,
to mystery.
one second. Just because I don't know how it operates, does that mean there is a logical contradiction?
Yes.
How
Shall I
much
tell
do
you what? Shall I tell you what? Shall I tell you what?
Let
Shall I tell you- no, I'll tell you- I'll tell you
me
what.
give an example. Let me give an example.
Okay.
So how much do you know about your soul, the reality of soul? How much do you know?
How much do I know about
Do you
it?
believe soul exists?
Yes.
How much do you know about your soul?
You can only know so much.
You can only know so much. That's what I'm trying to say. So I never said we have complete knowledge because Allah is Al-Alim. Allah is all-knowing. But we only know what God and His Messenger told us. That's all we know.
Does that
make sense, everyone?
So with the soul, I can say I know where it originates from. I know what it's accountable to. I know what
how it works. I don't know.
Okay, yeah. How it. So in other words, the material itself and all of that stuff, I may not know. So the mechanics of it, I may not know that.
Yeah.
But I know what it's accountable for. I know all these things. From
You got it.
Right.
You got it.
Now, from the text, you have said that there are two wills of Allah in which there's a hybrid, right?
Yes.
But you are
of our actions.
You are saying you do not know how those wills work.
Correct.
Right? But if you don't know how those wills work, you also don't know how the hybrid works too.
Yeah, I'm conceding.
So if you don't know how the hybrid works too, you will not be able to distinguish between whether this is the libertarian will of God or the fixed will of God. So with your sin, you won't know if this is fixed by Allah or it's your free will.
No, I affirm both.
Huh?
I affirm both.
Yeah, you would have to affirm both.
Now you have to demonstrate why is that a contradiction.
No, what I'm saying is you would have to affirm both out.
I understand the position.
You would have to affirm both out of your safety, because you know that if it's the free will one, you'll be punished for that. But if it's the fixed one, you won't be. So for the sake of your own safety, you would have to say, I actually need to acknowledge that I'm just going to take it all as free will. But you said it's a hybrid, which you actually don't understand. So well and truly,
I can see that.
Let me say, well and truly, as you live your life, you do not know which sins are accountable to your soul.
No, with the greatest respect, I think you oversimplified our theology. I said that we have a new...
You said it was a mystery.
David, are you going to shut up for a second?
You claimed it was a mystery.
Shut up.
So how can you claim you were
Shut up.
fighters?
Shut up.
Fat boy.
Shut up, David.
You're
Shut
going
up.
brave now.
Now, Wes.
All right. Cool.
With the greatest of respect,
You don't understand my question.
I understand your point. I think you've oversimplified our position.
Well, if you said
No, we have a nuance. We have nuance in our belief in the decree of God.
Tell it to us then, Mr. Mystery Man.
Right? What we're saying is that the legislative will of God, that God wished for us to do, that is what we're going to be accountable for. God will not hold us accountable for the things that is not related to our actions. For example, we're not accountable where we
fixes the actions.
Oh my goodness me. For example, God will not hold us accountable to where you're born. We don't believe in caste system. Okay, wait one second. We're not accountable for the natural disasters.
Okay.
We're not accountable for where we're born, where we're going to die, or who our parents are. That's not what we're going to be accountable for.
Are you accountable for adultery?
Yes. Like that's God already legislated us do not commit adultery. So that's what.
But then if he's fixed that, you just said if he's fixed it to us, right?
Yes.
You are acknowledging that in other words, a man committing adultery is the same as a tornado striking a city, according to Allah's will, His decreed will.
Yeah, but accountability.
Right.
The natural disasters, you're not going to be accountable.
Pardon?
Having cancer, for example. Okay, like right? Having cancer, you're not going to be accountable for that.
No, but they're still within the bucket of Allah's decreed will.
Yes.
So they're fixed.
Yes, that's the general. He fixed both his legislative and universe related.
So what is the?
But what we're going to be accountable for is what God told us to do.
But if no one is accountable for the tornado, right? How can and the tornado is in the same camp as the adultery? Who can be accountable for the adultery, or who can be accountable for the adultery when it's been decreed by Allah, just like the tornado has been decreed by Allah?
But again, when you use the term fixed, I'm saying both His legislative will and universe-related will. But what you're not going to be accountable for are the things. Thank you, Wes. Are the things that you're not accountable. For example, you're not accountable.
No, you're going to be accountable for the things you're not accountable.
Yeah, you're not going to be accountable for the things that is not within your will. You didn't have a choice where you're born, correct?
Will?
Yes. No, you didn't have a choice. You didn't have a choice where you're born.
But
where are you from? You're from Africa, right? Hang on. God decreed and fixed that you're going to be born in a particular country. That is not within your choice. That's not what you're going to be accountable for.
It's not my fault for the tornado, right?
Yes, correct.
My free will is not there with the tornado.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
My free will, according to the text, is not there for the adultery too, because that's fixed. It's under the bucket of that decreed will.
Again. I'm going to say it once again. When he say fixed, we affirm God fixed both his legislative will and his universe-related will. But you're still accountable for the choices that God is giving you, good or evil. But what you'll not be accountable for are the things that you didn't have a choice. For example, you didn't have a choice where you're born. You didn't have a choice
Is there
with
a
your
sin we
parents.
don't have a choice for?
Sorry?
Is there a sin that we don't have a choice for?
Is there a sin that you didn't have a choice for?
Because the whole point of this is sin.
No.
All right, no,
That hadith is talking about universe-related will.
but it's sin though.
I
Adultery
know,
is
I
sin.
know. So from the human,
So in other words,
right.
sin. So in
That-
other words, you've
right,
got to
right.
conclude that in that universal will,
Yes.
sin occurs.
Yes, I agree.
So that means that sin cannot be accountable to anybody, just like the tornado is not accountable to anybody.
No. The sin, this hadith, when it talks about the fixed decree, is not saying that your action is not accountable. God fixed your adultery because He knew. But you're not. But you're still going to be accountable because God is legislating not to commit adultery.
But
That's what the hadith is
But
saying.
if you give a slide, I guess, to nature in the sense that tornadoes are unaccountable, they're under this will, right? You unfortunately you equate sin to natural disasters.
I didn't say natural disaster is sin.
No, I said you equate it in the sense that it's under that universal
I don't even
decree.
no. I don't see natural disaster as a sin in the first place. Because a sin by because a sin by definition means going or transgressing or going against the commandments of God. Okay? So in terms of the human, I've been legislated by Allah and His Messenger, stay away from, don't commit adultery.
But you've also been commanded and legislated by Allah to do this certain amount of sin.
No, who told you that? Give me evidence.
Abu Hurairah reported Allah's messenger saying, Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge in. There would be no escape from it.
Okay. Where did he say he wished it? Where did he say he desired? Where did he say he commanded us to do it?
Fixed.
That's what I'm saying.
I need to mention
Thank you.
It says
Look,
fixed.
God knows us.
It says fixed.
And there will be, and then on top of that, on top of that, it says there will be no escape from that. In other words, your free will is mute.
I agree. But where does the hadith say that he commanded us to do adultery? Give me the evidence in the hadith.
Because it doesn't say the word command.
Thank you. That's the whole point.
So the difference between, tell me the difference between command and fix.
Say one thing. God knows us. Then we know ourselves.
No, this doesn't say no. This doesn't say use the word no. No. If you're going to play that game, hold on, wait.
I'm not here to play games.
Okay, fair. Okay, then
By Allah, I'm not here to play games.
In that case, I don't know why you're asking for an exact word.
Right.
Because it says fix.
Because
it doesn't say no.
Again, I think what you're committing is oversimplification. Because I didn't say fixed is only in regards to the sin. I'm saying fixed in regards to both his legislative will and universe-related will.
They were both fixed.
Where does it say that?
Where
does it say fixed will?
No, you're saying that God fixed.
Can't know the concept of qadr just by looking at one.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. You have to understand. That's what I'm saying. Wes. That's what I'm saying. Wes, calm back. Look into Qadr. Look into
Here's
Qadr.
where Rayhan has
Is he
failed.
your spokesperson?
Rayhan said.
Is he your spokesperson?
Okay, fair enough.
Rayhan has said that both the universal and the legislative will are both fixed. Here, if this is a universal, the universal claims that every man must commit a degree of adultery.
Where does it say that? Where did it say that?
It says it's fixed.
Did he say command?
Fixed the very.
I agree,
What's the
Wes.
difference between fixed
hold on.
and command?
Wait,
Oh my days.
Let me finish.
I think he fails to understand.
So it says
Can I repeat
every
again?
man must
God
commit
fixed
a degree of adultery,
everything,
and they cannot escape
whether
it. Now, the legislation
let
says that adultery is haram, and that's also fixed. So Allah is both making adultery haram, but making a man commit adultery, which is haram. So you have no choice in the matter.
He's helping me out.
Yes, because Allah arbitrarily sends you to hell for things that you cannot control, because He has fixed your adultery and fixed the fact that adultery is wrong.
Wes, I think I think you've oversimplified the matter. My position is
You said
this.
it was a mystery, so you oversimplified it.
Is anyone gonna? I never said that fixed is only in regards to the legislative will. I'm saying God fixed everything. whether it's legislation and his universal
Let me ask you a question.
Now, you have to provide the evidence in that hadith where God legislated us to do adultery.
Okay. What I'm going to do is to do that. I'm going to ask you a question. Those two wills.
Yes.
Is one will stronger than the other?
Guys, we're talking over each other.
What kind of question is that?
Oh, these two wills equal.
Literally.
Yes.
So Allah has two wills.
No, types of wills.
Go around.
Types of wills. Distinction.
The effects of these wills.
Okay, when you say,
come
wait,
on.
hang on. When you say Jesus had two natures, is it composed or is it distinction?
There's a distinction here.
Right, so it's the same.
So these two,
It's distinct.
they're distinct.
It doesn't mean two separate wills.
No, but
You said that.
these two distinct wills of Allah.
Yes.
Right. One of them is universal legislation.
No, not universal legislation. I said no. There's two categories. Legislative will, what God commands us to do and stay away from. That is what we'll be accountable for. Universe related will, God permits everything, whether He's pleased or not pleased with.
Which one does the fixing happen in?
Both. There you go. Thank you.
Then you
Thank
can't escape sin.
Because this
You can't
whole time,
escape sin.
because this
If
whole
the
time,
fixing,
wait, hang on.
okay.
I'm going to steal my argument.
No,
Let me steal my
let me
argument.
read it one more
Okay,
time.
okay.
If the fixing happens in both
Yeah.
the free will in which
Yeah.
He commands you to do something and you can disobey it, and also in the will in which you cannot escape it, or whatever happens.
What does that
There's
fall
no
under?
difference between these two
No,
wills.
there is a difference because you understood the difference between universe will and legislation. You're implicitly agreeing that there is a distinction.
I'm not.
When you're saying
I'm
that,
saying when
the
hadith
when the hadith says you cannot escape from it, it's talking about from his universe related will. That's what I'm talking about.
So that means so sin enters the universal related will.
Yes.
So
Correct.
If sin
You got it now.
enters the universal related will.
Yes. Then that's what's
In other
going to be counted.
then your free will has there's no potency to your free will. It's in the adultery is the same as the hurricane.
No, it's not.
You put it in the same camp.
Prove to me the equivocation. You have to demonstrate now.
Oh, what do you mean?
Demonstrate it. I want you to demonstrate. Demonstrate the equivocation. The onus is on you now. You make the claim, you demonstrate.
Tell him.
Allah fixes things. Yes?
In what?
Pardon?
Let's see if you're listening. Allah fixed in what things?
If Allah says that so and so will happen, so and so will happen. Right?
No. I want you to be specific. What did He fix?
The point of what I'm saying.
No. I want you to understand our paradigm.
Yeah,
And
what
you
I'm
fail
saying,
to understand
what
our
I'm trying to say
paradigm.
is your paradigm doesn't make sense because there's nothing that distinguishes between the two wills. Because you put sin, you have admitted that sin is under the same will in which hurricanes occur.
That's in line with Allah's will. What's the contradiction?
So if sin,
What's the
so
contradiction?
if sin occurs under,
Guys,
if let me finish.
You're helping me out. Carry on.
If sin occurs under the will in which hurricanes occur.
No. Who told you that? Adultery. No, I didn't say that. Who told you that?
Didn't he say earlier that sin occurs in the same camp in which hurricanes occur?
No. Who told you that? No.
You just said that.
No, I didn't.
You just agreed to that just before this guy put his clip on me.
No.
When Allah fixes this,
1 second.
Wait,
that goes against. Wait.
Can I just quickly say?
Sorry. Can I make it very simple? Committed adultery goes against his legislative will. Natural disasters is within his universal will.
what I'm trying to say is legislative will is not potent, has no power.
Prove it.
It doesn't.
Prove it.
It doesn't because people go against it.
Prove it.
Because people go against it.
Prove it.
Do people not disobey Allah?
Yes.
Right. So that will doesn't force anyone to do anything,
Wait,
right?
hang on. And who said forcing?
Because if it's fixed,
Yeah.
and you cannot escape, your free will is gone.
Yes. But then no,
Right.
wait.
So that sin. So that adultery doesn't go into the free will. The free will Allah's will. It goes into the fixed Allah's will. Where hurricanes, where natural disasters, where tornadoes occur.
So you're saying. So
there's no choice there for the man.
So you completely negate the decree of God.
From your from from your theology or from your worldview, I'm saying that the distinction between those two wills, there's no real distinction there.
Okay.
You can't say that those are two wills.
Are we Muslims? Are we Muslims conscious that Allah told us not to commit adultery? Yes or no?
Doesn't matter.
No,
That's what I'm trying to say.
don't say you don't matter. Because,
I'm saying it doesn't matter according to what you've
Wes. The fact that Allah has told us not to commit adultery, that is what we're going to be held accountable. Allah fixed everything, whether our good or bad actions. It doesn't contradict our free will. You have to demonstrate that.
Because if you are saying that Allah can fix an evil that someone can do.
Not Allah can fix, Allah fix.
So not Allah can fix, He fixes.
No, Allah fixed everything. His legislative will and His universe-related will. You have to prove to me that adultery falls under the category of natural disasters.
Because Allah fixed the very portion of adultery which a man will indulge.
Don't read from the hadith. The hadith is not going to help you. I want you to demonstrate.
Why can't I? What do you mean? I want demonstrating.
You have to allow him to give his.
I already interpreted the hadith for him.
No, but you have to allow him to give his explanation.
There would be no escape from it.
You can't give his explanation from a hadith. Let him. Let him. We're not going by your methods, right? Going by his methods. No.
So there's no conversation.
Okay, let.
One second. You cannot explain this hadith for a while. You don't understand this hadith.
Yes.
You're not a scholar.
You're not a scholar.
You can't put your own perspective on the hadith.
Yes.
Oh, so that's it. It's me.
You're absolutely correct. He's absolutely correct.
So we're done. So why didn't you say at the beginning, Tomini? Also, not where? Stop reading. That's the end.
If I don't know anything about
because you're insisting.
If I don't know anything about the Bible, can I put my perspective on
People
the
do
Bible?
this
all the time. That's how you guys say that Jesus is not God. You're the one that
bro.
Yeah, but this hadith was the debate.
Did you know when he says you cannot escape from it? Did you know how we understand that understanding?
You haven't said. Okay, how do you understand? How do you understand that?
I've already said it. This is talking about His universe-related will, that God permits everything, whether bad or good, will happen. Okay?
So you can't escape the bad. Say you cannot escape the bad.
We cannot escape from the bad. But
so that means a man on the world cannot escape from sin.
One second. But does that mean that God told us to do evil? Is He telling us to do adultery? What He's talking about is universe-related will. That God fixed it, this person would do adultery. But is He saying, because he's going to commit adultery, I'm still going to take him to hellfire because I didn't tell him not to commit, because I didn't tell him to commit adultery? That's why, as the Prophet said correctly, may Allah bless you, you cannot base on one hadith.
I'll tell you what it sounds like.
You cannot base on
I'll tell you what it sounds like to me. It sounds like someone has a child that they put on the top of the slide, and they say, "Don't slide down that slide," and then he pushes him down the slide. Whose fault is it?
Sorry.
That's what it sounds like.
Wait.
That's what it sounds like. You put him on the top of the slide. You say to the child, "Don't you dare slide down that slide," and then you push him down the slide. Is that that time?
We get that.
So whose fault is that?
That hit you, right? You understand that one, yeah? Okay. God is okay. We're not pushing the child. That's what you don't want to understand.
Exactly.
God is saying don't slide down, but He's not pushing us to slide down. That's
But he wrote it down. He fixed it.
Did He tell us to push it?
Yeah, he told the child. In the analogy.
Tell me the hadith. No.
I tell the child, don't go down the slide. Then I shove him down.
In this hadith, yes.
not to slide.
Yes.
That's what you don't understand.
That's what you don't understand.
Exactly. I tell him not to slide, then I push him down. I fixed it. I fixed that. He will slide down the slide 10 times.
Wes, you said natural disasters equate adultery in this hadith.
Yeah.
Prove it.
I just.
You're the knowledgeable person in this hadith. The onus is on you.
I just have.
No, you haven't.
I mean, it's the same with the tornado. God pushes the tornado down the slide.
Prove it.
Same with the child.
Prove it.
I think we're done, man.
No, prove it.
No, I think we're done.
Prove it. No, prove it, Wes.
I can't prove it, man.
So you can't prove it?
Yeah, people will see on the cameras that I prove nothing.
You know why, Wes?
I'm not a scholar.
No, because you don't understand our position first, to critique. In order for you to critique, know our position. Because what you're doing, you're just based on this one hadith. If I do that with the Bible, you're not going to like it, would you?
No, but that's what everyone does. I don't understand when you say know your position.
You've got to be reasonable.
If you're saying
before you spoke to me,
before you spoke to me.
No, okay, sorry. The other round. All right, that's a good one. Okay. Did you know about the position of the two different types of will of Allah? Did you know? Be honest.
No.
Okay, come on.
No, but you have to understand
Well,
this.
I don't understand.
One second.
Khalas.
That doesn't matter.
Exactly.
You can still critique from what he is seeing.
No, you can't.
Right, and it's your position.
So
to
that means I
defend
can't ever see. No, wait. That means that you can never ask any Christian here about Christianity.
Remember,
unless you have studied that Bible inside and out, unless you've understood every single denomination. Exactly the same thing.
That's a great point. Wes, that's a great point you made. But did you come from a position of challenging, or did you come from a position of learning?
What?
Be honest.
Oh, so you want to convert to Christianity?
No.
You're coming here to learn about Christianity.
Wes,
Is that what you're telling me?
you.
Is that what you're telling me?
Wes, I think
No, be honest with me. Be honest with me.
Okay.
When you said learning, are you coming to question Christians to learn about Christianity to convert?
Wes.
You're coming to challenge.
Wes.
That's what we're doing.
Wes. Oh, so you did come from a position of challenge.
That's what we're doing.
Okay. In order for you to challenge, you should know our position first, and you didn't know. Be intellectually honest, Wes. Be intellectually honest.
When you say know your position,
Wes, I'm not going to run away. I'm here every Sunday.
When you say know your position, the way you're using that is as if I have to accept. I have to accept your position.
Let me give an example.
That's what it sounds
Let me
like.
give an example. As a Muslim, I say, the doctrine of the Trinity. You believe the Father is the Son is the Father, and I come from a position of challenge. You're going to say, you want to come here and challenge about our Trinity? You don't even know our position first. Go and learn our position, and that's what you're doing. That's what you're doing right now. Hence, that's why not all Muslims know how to argue. That's my point. Okay? So Wes.
You have a general knowledge of what it means, what predestination means. You've applied that.
Right, but
he's applied his general understanding of predestination.
It doesn't count.
It does.
It doesn't count. Because you have to internal critique. He's challenging our paradigm. He has to know our position first. And he doesn't know our position.
Even though what you've explained,
for what I've given fails what I'm challenging.
No, it's not about failure. We're not here to win or lose. Trust me.
Not fails in that way, but it doesn't pass what I'm challenging.
No.
I am showing that there's no.
To critique something,
Yes.
do you not think that you need to have some basic knowledge
This is
about
not
it?
right.
Yes.
He's talking about predestination, generally speaking.
From his paradigm.
Yeah, but it still falls in line with
No.
what you're saying.
No, is he
If
challenging?
Allah wills that I will sin, right? If Allah wills that I'll commit adultery 5 times, it doesn't matter if I'm told yes or no.
It does matter.
It doesn't, because
matter.
I can't go against that fixed thing.
Timothy.
I can't do nothing about that.
Timothy.
And that's the paradigm. Correct me if I'm wrong, brother. That's where you're coming from, right? If I can't do anything about it, why is God judging me for it?
Again.
That's the point.
Did you see why God is judging? Because you didn't know the distinction between legislative will
You never
and universal.
heard what I
You
just
didn't know
said.
about that.
No, you
No,
never heard what I said.
Timothy.
Rayhan, you didn't hear what I said.
No, I heard you,
Let me say it
Timothy.
again. Let me say it again, Rayhan.
Okay,
Let me say it again.
go on.
At that point, it doesn't matter what's legislated.
It does matter.
Why? Let me
It does
tell you
matter.
why.
It does matter.
Because if Allah has fixed that I'm going to commit adultery 5 times, and then He tells me 5 times don't commit adultery, He's already fixed it.
He's pushed me down the slide.
He's
pushed me down the slide 5 times.
You see my point?
Do you see
I can't wait 1 second. Let me land.
Okay.
I can't go against that decree. It's a difficult one, Rayhan, even he's saying it to you, bro. We understand this because we know what.
I
Rayhan,
understand.
last point. We understand predestination doctrine, right? And your religion is teaching that. That's where he's coming from. And his argument. Hold a second. His argumentation makes sense without having to know the fullness of what you're saying.
Sorry, Timothy. You came, if you want to challenge somebody's position, you have to know their position first. And he didn't know about our theology, the distinction between legislative will and universe-related will.
What does my lack of knowledge take away from my critique?
Wait, 1 second.
What does my lack of knowledge on that take away from my critique?
1 second, Wes. 1 second. Because it changes everything. Because if you don't know our position in the first place, and if somebody enlightened you about it, then at least use that as an opportunity to say, you know what, I want to challenge their position because I didn't hear about that. I'm going to challenge. But now
I've heard about it now, and I'm still challenging.
No.
So there's no change.
Because you're still regurgitating your position.
Because I'm showing
which
that
I'm not
God-
interested in.
No, but
What I'm interested in is, did you understand our position? And you still haven't demonstrated. You still haven't demonstrated how committing adultery equates natural disasters.
because you have admitted on camera that the adultery and also the hurricanes go under that fixed will.
That's correct.
You admitted
did.
that.
Okay.
You did. You
So
did.
in other words,
Because
there's no
when
distinction.
he was describing the hadith, you brought up tornadoes. You brought up where someone was
Yeah.
born, but he was talking about adultery. He was talking about sinful things.
And you admitted on
So
camera that
you
put them
conflated those
exactly.
things together. You did that.
And so by doing that, you basically made the other will redundant.
Thank you.
You see, you still haven't understood universe-related will. Allah's universe-related will means Allah. Allah. I understand. You see, again, you're not listening. Universe-related will means Allah has permitted everything, evil and good.
Yeah, hurricanes and adultery.
Right. Good.
Right.
One second.
Yeah.
1 second. When I said evil and good, right, we're talking about in the context of human as well as natural disasters.
Yeah, I know. So adultery and hurricanes.
Right. Okay, fine.
You're right to say
But the difference between natural disasters and adultery is that adultery comes under the legislative will, that Allah doesn't want us to commit adultery. Whereas natural disasters is not something that is connected to our choice.
Should I tell you what I think? Legislative will, when you say adultery goes under legislative will, to me,
against the legislative will.
It goes against legislative will.
Yes.
Allah's legislative will sounds like desire to me. That God desires for one not to do something.
Okay.
But that desire can be disobeyed, or that desire.
That's universe-related will.
No, then you're mixed. Do you understand? You're mixing up those two wills.
No, don't.
No, because the hurricane isn't universal.
With all due respect, you didn't even know about these two different wills, and then you're correcting me. I'm the one that informed you about it.
Okay,
right. The point is this. No, 1 second. Why would you be accountable for adultery, and why would you be accountable for natural disasters? The reason why. Wait, 1 second. The reason why. No, Wes. You're equivocating natural disasters with adultery in terms of accountability. I'm saying why?
Why am I
because
doing
you
that?
misunderstood my point.
No.
Yes,
Why am I doing that? No. Why am I doing that?
I'll tell you why.
Okay, why?
Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us, do not commit adultery.
No, that's not
wait,
why.
1 second.
No. Still man me now.
No. Wes, I'm not going to steal man your position because you... look, with all due respect...
Do you understand my position?
Wes, with all due respect, you're doing internal critique. You have to engage my position, not your position. Just like Islamic dilemma, so-called Islamic dilemma, you're going to have to internally critique our scriptures, not from your perspective. So similarly, nowhere does the Quran and the Sunnah say natural disaster is a sin. Because that's not within that. You have wait 1 second.
You were the one who equated it.
Oh my
That's
God!
the point.
You
were
Take a minute.
Wait,
you equated
you are the
it.
one who said that
Not
hurricanes and adultery is under the universal one. It's under universal will.
and you forget.
And universal will is fixed. Good and bad, Allah has decreed.
Yes.
You want to take it back?
And then you are saying.
No, but I agree with that.
And
But you're forgetting.
Well, let me finish.
Let me
saying there's a
No, but I've already said
Hold
that.
on. There's a legislative will.
Yes.
In which man can obey or disobey.
No, that man must obey.
But we disobey it.
Oh my days! Does he
disobey it?
Does he not understand?
No,
Do you not
is it not
Wait,
true?
Do you not
that-
understand?
Did Allah tell you not to lie?
Yes.
Do you lie?
Or have you ever lied?
Yes, I've ever lied. Yes.
So then that
can be
that will can be disobeyed. The legislative will can be disobeyed.
No, oh my days!
Exactly. That's
No.
See, no. That's how we get sin.
No.
If it's this from the Islamic perspective, what I'm saying.
You've got to let me speak now.
So now, let me just finish. What I'm saying is, from the Islamic perspective, judgment happens when you disobey the legislative will. But
Define disobedience.
Huh?
Define disobedience.
Going against the desire of God, the will of God.
No.
The commands of
The commands of God. That's what legislative will means.
That can be disobeyed.
And that falls under?
The legislative will.
Let me get you.
No. That comes under universe-related will.
No, you said
legislated before.
you're mixing.
No.
You're
You see,
mixing.
you're
The
mixing.
universal
You
one
see,
is
again,
the decree.
again,
Wait, you said the universal one is the decree, right?
In other words, when we
Don't
say
decree.
Wait,
That's not fine.
okay, let me just help. When we say universal, we say hurricane. When we say universal, we say
Is
hurricane.
that the only example? I
No, or to natural disasters.
No, see, you see, let me.
No, just so we know the categories. Just so we know the categories. Just so we know the categories.
Let me define it again, because I don't think you understand. When we say Allah's universe-related will, it means Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala permits everything that happens, whether your good deeds, whether your bad deeds, as well as natural disasters and any other
That's
stuff.
the decree then. That's what he decreed.
I agree. They're both.
Okay,
decreed.
so
Right,
you are
one
correct
second.
to say that,
One
yeah.
second. Yes. But what you're forgetting, is that the reason why you're not accountable for natural disasters is because you're not being told that natural disasters is a sin. You'll only be accountable for the things that Allah has told you not to do things when you do things.
Okay.
That's the distinct. Therefore, natural disasters is not a sin, and committing adultery is a sin.
Okay.
So why doesn't he understand that?
1 second.
So he's not listening.
No,
Sorry.
1 second.
Okay, shall I explain to you?
Yeah, sorry.
When we say Allah's universe-related will, it means Allah permits everything. Allah allows good, Allah allows evil, Allah allows everything that happens.
Does he fix anything?
Yeah, I say both. Fixed.
Is there a difference between allowing and fixing?
No. Fixed comes under allowance and commandments.
Wait.
No, you're laughing. Wait, hang on. You're laughing with. You're laughing with. Wait, one second.
You said under.
No, I'm not going to repeat again.
No, you said.
I said. Can I
This is very
mention?
important. We need to understand it.
When Allah fixed, He fixed His legislation and His universe will.
It's the universal will we're trying to.
Are you accountable for natural disasters? No, because that doesn't come under the legislation of Allah.
I understand.
But are you accountable for adultery? Yes, because you're going against the legislation.
But can Allah
And
fix?
both
But can
of
Allah?
them are fixed.
But can Allah? But when Allah
Finish.
fixes,
Finish.
when Allah fixes
Finish.
the sin,
Adultery.
the adultery, the sin to somebody, where does that lie? Does that go under legislation? Does that go under universal?
No, it goes against the legislation.
I know it goes against.
Therefore, it's a sin. But natural disasters.
No, but he's trying to
I
understand
know it
it
goes
from the
against.
paradigm.
I don't get your point.
No. Let's
Remember,
take
I
the
said- no,
paradigm
because
of
I
the
said-
universal.
I said. Remember, I said for what it
Entertain it.
sounds like, the legislation will sounds like Allah's desire. He desires man not to sin. He desires man to go after Him. He desires man to
agree.
obey His
I agree.
right.
Okay.
That is not fixed.
No, that is fixed.
So both the
Again,
legislative.
I'm not going to waste my
then how
time now
can-
because
so then- so then if-
I've already
there's something wrong here.
no.
Wait,
One second, Timothy.
wait.
I've said this many
Rayhan, there's
times.
something wrong here.
Allah fixed everything because He knows He written down
Like He
before the
fixed
creation.
adultery.
Our actions, yes.
So the adultery that you
That person
commit,
commits adultery.
Allah has fixed.
Allah has already fixed, but
So
that person is a sin because the person knows that he's going against the legislation of Allah. But natural disasters, yes, that comes under universal will as well.
Okay,
but you're
let
not.
me give you an
Wait,
analogy.
hang on.
Yeah.
But you're not going to be accountable because you didn't have a choice.
I'll give you an analogy.
But you never
No,
had a
hold
choice
on. No,
anyway.
wait. I'll
Yes,
give
you
you
did have
another
a choice.
analogy. I'll give you another analogy.
Okay.
I create a robot.
No, I don't use human examples.
Huh? Anyway, I'm gonna still run my analogy.
No,
Let's say
no, I don't
I
accept-
use
I
the
don't-
slide
I don't
one.
accept
No, but I
analogies.
want you at least hear what I want to say. I create a robot, right? In the robot, I give it this software that says, don't do this, don't do that, right? But I create the robot with another software that it cannot, so that it's hardware or that runs its hardware to make it do X, Y, and Z, right? So I say to the robot, don't walk outside, right? This is the instruction I've given you. But then I put in the software for it to walk outside.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Whose fault is that?
Whose fault? The robot.
Is the
No,
There you
prove
go.
it. No,
There
prove
you go.
it. Prove it.
There you go.
No. Hang on.
If I make a robot,
Hang on.
if I make a robot,
Wait, hang on.
right, to
Hang
say
on.
go
Hang on.
outside,
Hang on.
right,
Hang on.
and then I also say to the robot, don't go outside, and it goes outside. You said it's the robot's fault.
Wait, hang on.
You can't have robots, man. Robots,
Wait.
You hear that?
Wes, are you going to let me talk?
Okay, go on.
Here's the conundrum that you have. If there is a distinction between the legislation will and the universe-related will, what I mean by legislation will is that humans are conscious of obeying God in certain matters. Okay? But universe-related will are everything that he permits, whether the person does good, whether the person does evil, and also natural disasters, any other stuff. Okay, I'm saying the human is still accountable for their action of adultery because that falls under the legislation. The natural disasters, on the other hand, does not fall under the legislation. Now, you have to prove to me. You have to prove to me. Okay, let me create a scenario. If Allah didn't tell us,
you can't. You didn't let me do it.
Hang on. Okay. If Allah didn't reveal us the Quran and the Sunnah to tell us not to commit adultery, and we carry on committing adultery, are we accountable or not accountable?
According to your hadith, Allah has made people for hell while they're in their father's loins.
No. Answer my question. If
No,
Allah,
but-
no, I'm giving you a hypothetical.
I'm giving you the answer.
No, Wes, no, you haven't engaged my point.
No, I'm giving you the answer there.
No, Wes, listen. If-
According to that,
Wes,
according to what you
Wes,
said,
no.
yeah, Allah will
I'm
still
not talking
throw
about
someone
the
into
hadith
hell.
yet. I'm asking you, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not command us, do not commit adultery, and we as humans go ahead and commit adultery, are we accountable for our deeds?
I don't really.
Answer the question.
If Allah commanded somebody,
No,
he didn't command. He didn't give the commandment. So if he didn't give the commandment,
Yeah, and you go ahead and do adultery, would you be accountable?
well, I think from a Christian paradigm, no, he's not accountable. No,
Good, and I agree. But if
that's
Allah,
not the case.
Wait, hang
though.
on.
That's not the case because Allah,
Wait,
according
wait, wait.
because Allah, according to what your prophet said,
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam, yeah.
according to what Muhammad said, people in their loins, in the people who are within their father's loins, are destined for hell.
Okay, so what?
So they didn't hear any commandment from
hang
God.
on, so what?
They didn't hear any commandment of don't commit adultery. They haven't heard any legislation.
Okay, wait.
Is that true?
Hang on. Destined, define destined. You're using the hadith, go on.
If they're
Clarified.
they're fixed, they can't escape it. That's what the hadith said.
And,
they can't escape it.
and you're not aware that in the Quran and Sunnah, we are not allowed to commit adultery. Why are you oversimplifying the matter?
But it's what your hadith
That's
says.
what you're doing. You're oversimplifying.
I'm not oversimplifying
You
anything.
are. Because
just going
you
by
said,
what your text says.
you said that if Allah did not command us to do adultery, and we go ahead and do adultery, then on the day of judgment, we're not accountable for that, correct? Because God didn't command us to do it. God didn't tell us not to commit adultery.
I'm posing that as a
No, one
problem
second.
for you. Yeah.
So are you saying that from the Islamic paradigm, the concept of qadr, there is no concept of accountability? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is a problem. Yeah, you can't understand it. Like you said, it's
I
a
agree, I
hybrid.
can't understand it. That's my point.
In other words, it's a hybrid. So that means that you do not. That's what I said. You do not know the sins that you are accountable for right now.
No, I do. Because
can't.
The same argument can be applied to you.
Anyway.
Yeah, because in Christianity you don't have a
No,
agreement
because-
on the qadr.
because
anyway,
I have to-
anyway.
because-
The thing is, I'm not going to go down that route. I'll tell you why. Because he wants to know about Islam, about qadr, so we're going to stick to that. Okay. Now, from your paradigm, do you believe that God knew everything before He created?
Knowing something doesn't mean that.
I didn't ask you that.
Okay, yes, he knows.
Okay. So if God knew that you're going to do evil, are you still held accountable?
Yeah, I can still be held accountable.
But if God,
If he knew you did it.
wait,
If he
hang
knew-
on.
If he knows, he's talking about.
Wait. So we agree that God is all-knowing, God is omniscient. He knows what's going to happen in the past, present, and future, and He knows that you're going to commit evil. So if God knows what you're going to do, why does it prevent you from committing evil?
He fulfills that through Jesus Christ.
No.
He does.
No,
Because
no, we're not going back. No.
No, don't tell me no.
That's not
Let
an
me finish.
answer.
No,
That's
that's
not
not
an
an answer. Let me finish. Let me finish.
That's not an
Let me
answer.
finish.
That's not an answer, Wes.
It is.
That's not an answer.
Shall I tell you why? Because if God allows us our free will to make our decisions and our choices, yet because of His love for us, He still gives us the choice to choose Him through the death and resurrection of Jesus Christ. So that for us, there is a choice for us to make.
No, but
whereas for you, you are fixed. There is no choice for you to make to escape sin.
So sorry, hang on.
Is that a lie?
Wait, hang on. Why didn't God create a utopian world?
Same with you.
Wait, hang on. No.
Same with you.
No. Wait. Because
Same with you.
We know the answer. You don't. Why?
Yeah,
wait.
the answer is that you are fixed to do evil. That's what it is.
No, hang
in
on.
which you are judged for, which makes no sense.
Right, and you still haven't demonstrated a contradiction. Now, with your point, Wes, if God already knew that there's going to be evil that's going to happen on earth, murder, adultery, all this stuff, right? Why didn't God prevent it?
It's the same with you.
No.
Yes, it is.
No, it's the same with you. Why?
There are
You tell me.
differences, by the way. Let me just say this quickly. Right? Going back to the point you make about sin, right? Adam was punished after he had committed the sin, right? So he was judged for the sin that he did.
Based on what?
He was sent to earth.
Well, he was told, no, from a Christian perspective.
Oh, he was told.
Okay, so
Yeah, from a Christian perspective, he was told.
Sounds like Islamic so far.
He was told not to eat of the tree of knowledge.
Yeah, that sounds very Islamic so far. Yes, yes.
All right,
Good,
well,
good.
you know, Islam took its inspiration from the
No,
scriptures.
no, but you're agreeing with Islam rather than
No,
us.
let's be
Go on,
honest,
Timothy. So why are we disagreeing then?
No, but there are slight differences.
No,
You have a story
all right,
of
go ahead,
Iblis and all
Timothy.
that sort of
Go ahead,
stuff.
Timothy. Go on.
And the
go on.
angels prostrating to Adam and all that sort of stuff.
Okay, go on.
Anyway, what's my point? Adam was punished
Why was he punished?
after he had done something that God had commanded him not to
And
do.
God didn't decree that?
No,
God
no,
didn't know
no,
that?
I'm not-
God didn't know that?
No, I'm not saying he didn't know, but I'm not
So what
saying
are you saying
I'm
then?
not saying he decreed it. There's a difference.
Also, he decreed
Let me-
evil
let-
for Adam.
Listen.
He decreed
Wait,
evil.
one second.
Wow. Wow.
You don't
Wait,
listen
hang
to
on,
me.
hang on.
I never said-
Wait, hang on. I said
wait,
don't
wait,
eat.
I'm not
Wow.
saying
Wow.
don't eat
Okay,
steak.
okay, good,
I'm
good,
not
good.
saying that.
Carry on,
Let me
Timothy.
clarify.
Carry on.
I think you're mishearing me.
Okay, go on.
Let me make.
Okay, I apologize.
Thank you. Yeah,
All right, all right.
Don't, make sure you hear me
Sorry,
carefully.
I had Americano. That's what.
Okay. Yeah, make sure you're hearing me carefully.
Okay,
Yeah?
all right.
God may have known that Adam was going to sin.
May?
God knew Adam.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
God knew Adam sinned. Fair point.
God knew, okay.
God knew Adam would sin.
Okay.
But him decreeing it or him creating Adam to sin is not what we're saying was his purpose.
Wow, so God didn't create Adam sin.
To sin, no, we would say that God created Adam to sin.
But did Adam do evil?
He did do evil. He went
So-
against.
so
when
God-
let me explain.
Okay,
So
okay,
when
go on.
God gave him a commandment,
Yeah.
Adam had a choice.
Okay.
Right? So
Okay.
then now he can be judged on the choice that he made. Let me make my. I need
Okay.
to land.
But God
No,
fixed
I need
that.
to land.
But God fixed that.
I need to land.
So God didn't
I
know.
need to land. I need to land.
So God didn't know.
I need to land. I
So
need
God
to
didn't
land.
know.
I need to
Is
land.
that what you're saying?
I need to land.
Okay, go on.
Now, if God fixed it, that Adam would commit this sin, that he said, that he decreed and declared that this is what Adam's going to do.
Okay, yeah.
He's going to sin. I will make him sin.
Is that what you believe?
No, I don't believe that. That's
So
what,
God
that's-
didn't know.
You're
conflating
knowledge and
knowledge
decreeing.
and force.
I don't see the difference.
That's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's
Why is
the
that a
problem.
problem? Wait, so God didn't know.
Let me explain my point. I want to
I'm
get my
confused,
point
I'm very
out, please.
confused.
No, wait, no, hold on. Actually, if you do not see a difference between knowledge and force, then that means you agree that Allah forces you to sin.
Exactly.
Prove it.
Exactly.
Prove it.
Exactly.
So far, wait, hang on. So far, what you're explaining is in line with Islam. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, it isn't.
Go ahead. I want you to.
The reason why I'm explaining it is because it's not in Islam, not in line with Islam. That's why I'm explaining it to you.
Okay, go ahead then. Go
I've
ahead.
shown you a difference that.
All right, Timothy, go on.
I'm
You explain
showing
to
you a
me how
difference.
Adam fell. Go on.
No, he made a very good point.
No, I want you to go
No,
back
he
to your
made a
point.
very good point, right? You're conflating the
Knowledge and
and,
force. No, knowledge is part of his decree. That's my point.
Yeah, but
now
you're-
go ahead.
so-
Go ahead.
So in
And
other
you don't
words, if
believe in
there's
that.
no
No, I want
difference,
him
You don't believe in that. Go ahead.
he made a point, and I want him to focus on it.
No,
Because what
if
you
there's
said
no
was
difference
actually good.
between his knowledge and his decree,
No, it's part of his decree. Knowledge is part of his
if
decree.
it's part of, if it's in there,
So he's
right?
ignorant. He didn't know. He didn't know Adam
No,
could
listen
sin.
to what I'm saying.
ignorant.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Wow.
If you're saying that God's knowledge, right, and his decree
Yeah.
are together, right?
I didn't say together. I said it's part of. Knowledge is part of
Come
decree.
on, bro. Let's make it easy for us.
No.
It's part
Is, not,
of
is,
it.
it, is his
It's part
knowledge
of it.
fixed? Is his knowledge fixed?
Pardon?
Is his knowledge fixed?
Is Allah's knowledge fixed?
No.
You
I'm
would say
asking
yes.
you. I'm asking you. Do you believe God's knowledge is fixed?
God's knowledge fixed.
Yes.
Meaning that he what? What do you mean exactly?
In other words, he's saying.
Wow,
No,
now you understand. Now you
No,
understand.
you said to me
Okay.
earlier,
Okay.
when it came to talking about the word fixed, when it came to talking about the word decreed, you said to me earlier,
Good.
what are the definitions?
Very good.
I'm asking you the same thing now.
Thank you.
Don't be upset.
What I mean by I'm not upset because you now understand where I'm coming from. The term fixed
I'm
means
affirming your position, by the way. I just need to
the
understand.
term fixed means everything that is determined and there's no change. Does God acquire more knowledge, less knowledge?
Okay, let me respond to you, right? So when I'm talking about Adam, for example, and I say that Adam is judged for his sin, it doesn't mean that God didn't know that Adam would sin.
I would agree with that.
Yeah?
But I'm asking you, is God's knowledge fixed
Hold on a second.
about
Hold on a
that
second.
affair?
Yeah, but knowing that Adam will sin after creating him and
But is it fixed?
determining that
So it's
Adam
fixed.
will sin
So it's
is
fixed.
a different thing.
No, it's fixed. That's
Because then
that's
you
what fixed means.
then you could blame God and say, you made
No,
me
no,
sin.
we're not blaming God. That's blasphemy.
No, but
the point is,
that's the
I'm asking
perspective
you.
I'm coming
No,
from. Why?
is God's knowledge
Rehan,
fixed? Is God's knowledge fixed?
Rehan. That's the perspective I'm coming from.
Is God's knowledge fixed?
Explain to me what you mean by that. When you put knowledge,
determined.
In other words,
God's
in other
knowledge
words,
is
God's
determined.
knowledge doesn't differ. It doesn't change. It doesn't
When
go
you
up
say
and down.
determined, meaning that, what do you mean exactly? I need to make sure we understand.
Determined means there's no change. God doesn't acquire more knowledge, and God
So
doesn't
he knows
decrease in
all
knowledge.
things. He knows everything.
Absolutely.
I agree with
but
that.
he's fixed. No, but no, he's fixing absolutely. He's fixing.
Wait.
He's fixing Allah's, or he's fixing, let's say, God's knowledge as a one-train track. In other
I
words,
didn't use that term. Please use my term.
I'll explain why. He's basically saying that God's knowledge is a one-train track.
I just want an answer.
In which
Is God's knowledge fixed? Is God's knowledge fixed?
He's basically saying that when he says fixed, he's basically saying there's nothing else. Anything that happens is God's knowledge. That's what he's saying. So everything that occurs in reality is God's knowledge. Anything that doesn't happen is not God's knowledge,
that's
and
what I
therefore
mean.
doesn't exist.
That's what I mean.
Thank you very much. Okay, that's good. I'm glad we're able to agree on something there.
Yeah.
Right? What I want to try and drive this home because this is going on for a while.
Sure. I'm enjoying it.
Actually, I want to say something though.
I'm enjoying
I
it.
think though that I think that actually limits God, and I'll tell you why. Because if I can think of something that doesn't exist in reality, that means I can do something that Allah can't do. Okay. Because what he's saying is that if Allah's knowledge,
Alhamdulillah for Islam.
if Allah,
Alhamdulillah for Islam.
if God's knowledge is fixed, right? If Allah's knowledge is fixed,
Hello, how are you? Good?
then things that don't occur, things that don't happen, also doesn't exist, right? Right?
I don't understand your point. Could you clarify?
You're saying if I'm to wake up in the morning, there's no knowledge of Allah that I don't wake up in the morning.
I don't get that. You have to clarify, please. I'm trying to understand.
If it's Allah's knowledge that I get a red car, then there is no knowledge that I get a blue car.
Whose knowledge? I don't
Allah's knowledge. In Allah's knowledge,
That's my point. It's fixed.
it's fixed exactly. But
So
in other words,
God's
he's
knowledge is
saying that. In other words, he's saying that reality is fixed by
Yes.
Allah's knowledge.
Yes.
Right.
believe that?
So whatever occurs in reality, is fixed.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't occur in reality, it's not knowledge.
Okay.
But I'm saying I can imagine something that doesn't occur in reality.
Brilliant.
I can imagine a unicorn. I can imagine all sorts of different things that don't occur in reality, right? And he's saying that Allah can't do that.
No, it's
That's
absurd.
what he's saying.
It's absurd to say
That's
that
what he's
Allah.
saying.
No,
I can imagine things that are not in reality,
I don't say can't. I don't
right?
like that.
I can do that.
A unicorn.
Like a unicorn, like anything, right? I can imagine these things. I can picture them in my mind. I can draw it out, right? But he is saying that if it doesn't occur in reality at all in any sense, right?
Yeah.
Then it can't
What
exist.
would we consider reality in this situation?
Okay, let them agree. Go on. No, you still haven't agreed. Go ahead.
I think what you're saying about reality is anything that occurs in space, matter, or time.
Okay. So what I want to understand, right?
10
Guys.
10 minutes. 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's enough.
No, we have a
That
nice
should be
conversation.
enough.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right, guys. 10 minutes.
I think the most important thing that's standing out to me is something that you mentioned earlier about knowing and force. And that's something that I want to talk about a little bit. Because when you're speaking about it, how I'm understanding what Allah determines in relation to His knowledge.
You still haven't answered my question.
Say your question.
Is
one more
God's
time.
knowledge fixed after how he explained?
I need to make sure I understand exactly what you
He
mean.
just explained perfectly. I agree. Me and the brother here, we nodded.
No, so you agree that I can think of something.
No, God. We're talking about God's knowledge.
No, because that's a part of my explanation. I can think of something that doesn't exist in reality, and Allah can't do this act that I'm doing.
No, Allah knows your thoughts.
Huh?
Allah knows your thoughts. God knows your thoughts, right? You agree?
He knows my
Yeah,
thoughts.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, does God's knowledge
So
change?
are my thoughts fixed?
Is it changed? If it's not changed, then it's fixed.
He's saying that my thoughts are fixed as well.
Change.
Yes.
He knows all things that happen.
Okay, I want to direct. I want to direct
Do you
response.
understand?
Well, you're saying,
Right?
but
Is God's knowledge
he's
fixed?
saying that.
Does
Sorry,
God's
sorry,
knowledge
let me know.
change over time?
No.
So it's fixed.
Yes.
Thank you.
But
We agree.
Rehan,
Thank you. Thank you.
Can I
not
explain?
quantifiable.
Can I explain? Can I explain?
Yes.
God knowing everything that will ever happen doesn't mean that he's making somebody sin.
Thank you. Can
Right?
God prevent Adam from eating
Don't
the
say
tree?
thank you. Don't say thank you. Right? Because
Come on,
there's
Timothy. I'm
you're
glad we're
saying
doing
thank you.
something.
Wait, hold on a second. You're saying thank you as if we agree. We don't agree. There's a difference in our understanding, and that's what I want to highlight.
You just said, I'm glad we agree on something. Before, you just
I
said
was
that.
talking about what
Yeah,
his
so-
definition.
yeah, so
but he
thank you.
disagreed with your definition to some degree because he started talking about the unicorn.
So God's knowledge can change.
Then I answered you. Let me follow through my point, please. I don't want to go backwards on that again.
I think I've given you
No,
enough
no,
time.
no, no.
Go ahead, go ahead.
I'll try
I'll
to
give you one more
understand.
chance. I'll
You're
give you one more
basically
chance.
saying-
You're not giving me
You're
chances.
basically saying-
You're not
I'll
giving me
give you-
chances.
I'll give you
Ray.
one more chance.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
giving me chances.
I'm just giving you now.
You're not giving me chances.
One
I'm
more.
speaking,
One more.
right? I hope we have respect for each other.
Of course I'm having respect.
It's not about
I've
giving.
spoken to you before, Timothy.
Yeah, we have, and that's good.
Yeah.
Shake
No
your
problem.
hand.
No
Yeah.
problem, Timothy. Go ahead.
The point I'm trying to make is this. I totally accept that God knows all things. I don't disagree with that, right? However, when we're talking about this universal law, or what was the phrase you used again?
Universal will.
Related will. Universal
Yeah.
will.
How I'm understanding is that that's something that Allah has predetermined.
I agree.
You will commit adultery 10 times. That will happen.
I agree.
Right?
Because he's knowledgeable. He's all knowing. That's why.
So even though let's say there's a difference though. Of
What's
saying
the
that
Because he's conflating the knowing and force.
exactly.
Right,
together.
so God didn't know the force.
No, because
Is that what you're saying? You're saying God
wait,
didn't know the
wait,
force.
He
When you
said
say-
what he just said there is the key to our argument.
So God didn't know the force.
I want to ask you a question. Actually.
No.
I want to understand.
No, Rehan. That's the key
No,
point to the argument.
No.
That's the key point there.
Timothy West. God didn't know the force.
The force. The what?
You're making the distinction between God knows all things and the force. So I'm asking, did God know that
No.
force?
When I say force, as in God, you're conflating that God's
Compulsion.
knowledge
Compelled.
and you put them together.
Let me explain.
I know. Wait, hang on. But
Please.
did God know?
This is the
but
key
did-
point.
hang on. Did God know that Adam will eat the tree? He will eat from
Yes,
the
he
tree.
knows he will eat the tree.
Could he have prevented it? Could he have prevented it?
Pardon?
Could he have prevented it?
Of course he can. Of course
Why
he can.
didn't he?
Pardon?
Why didn't he?
Because he didn't want to infringe on Adam's
Because-
free will.
So it doesn't conflict with Adam's free will, right?
Pardon?
Even though God determined it.
No, see, you went from no to determined.
I
Can
think
you see
agree-
that?
I think
you've gone
slowly.
from no to
I think
determined.
slowly you're agreeing.
No,
Rehan,
I need to ask you-
Rehan,
No, wait,
Rehan,
wait. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, but I'm going to
Go
support
on,
you.
mate. Go on, Timothy. Go on.
Focus on what he's saying without asking him another question. Why? Because
I was always on the back foot the whole time. I think I can challenge you.
No, because
You've been having for the past 45 minutes.
I gave you an explanation, and it's come to this point where we're talking about
Is
the
God's
knowledge
knowledge fixed?
and the force.
Yes, that's what he's saying. The God's knowledge is God's power fixed.
Is God's power fixed?
Yes.
Yes.
Whoa.
Why?
You can fix God's power. So is Allah omnipotent?
Do you know what fixed means?
Well, tell me then.
Oh,
When you
okay.
say that Allah's power is fixed, what does that mean?
It means there's no change. It doesn't increase and it doesn't decrease. God's knowledge, God's power doesn't increase or decrease. God is always powerful. You agree with that?
Yeah, but you can't quantify
Do you
that.
agree with that? I'm not saying we can quantify. I'm
It's all
saying
powerful, Alex.
right. So it's fixed. So it's fixed.
That doesn't make sense.
Why not? Go on, prove it to me.
No, the reason why I'm saying.
God, or if you don't worship God, he's the same.
Exactly. Thank you. Barakallahu feek. It
Yeah, but
doesn't change.
Some days you're
Yes,
tired,
when you're
some
saying,
energetic,
but
God ain't like
Yeah,
that.
listen,
God
when
ain't
you're
Thank you.
when you're saying fixed,
Yeah.
it sounds like you're saying that it's always God's power is always at a certain level.
No, I didn't say that.
That's what it sounds like. When you
did I
say-
say
when
that?
you use
Wait,
the word
wait.
fixed.
No.
But it's
I
Exactly.
said, I asked you, wait, hang on. Let me track the conversation
That's
here.
fair.
That's
Let me
what it
track the
sounds
conversation.
like.
Let me track the conversation. I asked you, is God's knowledge fixed? Then you said...
It sounds like it's, in
Wait,
other words, you're containing
but
that.
but I clarified it. You asked me, what do you mean by fixed? Are you saying God's power is fixed? I said yes. And then you're having your own laughter, right? Then I said, what I mean by God's power fixed is that his power doesn't increase, doesn't decrease. He's always powerful.
Okay, you did clarify so increase.
Do you agree? Yes or no?
God is all powerful.
I don't know.
No,
but all powerful and fixed is
The terminology,
The way he's using
the terminology,
It's
fixed
the way you
suggests
speak.
a measure.
Exactly.
Can you wait? Wait one second.
Or
When you say
confinement.
fixed, exactly, and God is not
Confinement,
confined.
but-
We don't believe that God can change over time.
Exactly.
Allah has always been the same.
Yes, exactly.
he's eternal.
So is he
He's
fixed?
not like a human being. Some days you're tired, some days
Exactly.
you're not. God ain't like that. He's
Exactly.
always the same.
Thank you.
No, but your fix doesn't make, your fix adds you're using the word fixed,
Yeah.
right? Adds confinement.
I'm
Like,
using a
there's-
philosophical term, not a colloquial term.
Yeah, we got
Not everyday
like
language.
5 minutes, but
Not
I
everyday
wanna
language.
highlight
That,
the-
you're talking about physical quality.
To be honest, to be honest, I think we're going.
But
we're
he's
going-
using from a physical, physical properties.
he should
Yeah,
address that.
that fixed meaning that is measured, that is limited.
difference.
I'm talking about God's attributes of his all powerful, all knowing. Does that change regardless?
No, that's right. So,
Right, so God
when
not
we
just
would
fixed.
say
So God
God is
not
all
just-
powerful,
You're
not
saying
saying
yes.
You would say yes or no.
Thank you.
but when you use the term
Yes.
fixed,
Yes.
because we use it so often in
Yes.
everyday language,
there,
we're
and
taking
then
it as a
it stops because
containment.
of this whole
Yes.
And it's not.
But I've
You
already
don't mean
clarified.
it.
I don't mean by the
You mean
containment.
he's all powerful,
Yes,
all knowledge.
yes. And does that
There's no
change?
limits. There's no limits to
So,
it.
can we, so with that definition and with that clarification I made about fixed, do you agree that God's knowledge is fixed and God's power is fixed?
I'll be honest. I can't really understand the fixed thing because I said it.
You explained it very well to Timothy.
You
No,
believe
because
that
of-
God is consistent.
Yeah, but consistent and fixed are two different things. Like when you say fixed, you add some sort of like constraint or
Does
confinement to something.
God's knowledge increase, decrease, or always?
Yeah, but then you're saying
there's
that
no, it's
you're saying
absolute.
that
That's
knowledge,
what absolute
you're
means.
making
It's
knowledge.
all right, let me make it simple.
You're
Is
making
God's
knowledge quantifiable,
relative?
like
Is
that.
it relative? Is God's knowledge relative?
I don't know what that means. Listen, we've kind of listen. Okay, wait,
Wait,
I've kind of
you still haven't answered my question.
What you were going to say?
I said I don't understand.
You still haven't answered my question.
No, but I said I don't understand.
Is God's knowledge fixed?
I don't understand that question.
Fixed meaning that God's knowledge doesn't increase or decrease. He's always all knowing.
I still don't understand
He's
that.
always all knowing, absolutely.
Okay, so did God always knew that Adam would eat from the tree?
Always know.
Yes.
Did he determine that?
No.
Okay, all right.
And I'll tell you
I
why.
don't get it.
I'll tell you. No. How could he know? You can't. Wait.
Thank you.
You can't cut me off at that point. I give an answer. Yeah, I give an answer. Right, I've given an answer. Let me follow.
Go ahead,
All right,
go ahead.
right? I said it before. I'll say it again.
No problem.
God knew, right? And it actually ties into what my brother here was saying about Jesus Christ. Actually, it does tie into that. But God knew that Adam. You could do that if you.
Go ahead.
God knew that Adam would sin.
Agree?
Yeah.
Agree?
But God didn't create Adam
Huh?
to sin.
God didn't create Adam
To sin.
To sin.
How could you know something, but it's not?
Did I tell you why?
Didn't
Let me
God
tell you
create
why.
Adam? Didn't
Let
God
me-
create
Let me
Adam?
tell you why. Let me tell you why. When Adam was created, you can touch your head if you want. When Adam was created, right? He gave him a commandment. Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge. You could.
He doesn't
Yes,
understand.
No, I'm not even talking. I'm just doing my gestures. Go ahead.
Do not eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, right?
yes,
If you
yes.
do, on that day you will surely die. Adam didn't listen to God's command, and because of that, he died. So there was a consequence.
Spiritually.
So there was a consequence physically. There was a consequence for his disobedience, right? Which he could be judged for because he had done something against the will of God. That everyone could attest to and say, actually, we know that this is what Adam did. Therefore, his judgment.
What kind of will? Legislative will or
let me
universal will?
please. I'm speaking from my paradigm.
Good.
Right?
Okay.
So
Okay, fine.
I hope you understand that. So that's why when
I
you're nodding,
understand.
you have to make
I'm
sure
not-
that you're
I'm
in
nodding,
my
I'm nodding,
paradigm.
I'm nodding,
yeah?
Timothy. Go ahead.
Thank
Timothy.
you.
Go ahead.
Get my thoughts again.
Okay, no problem, Timothy.
So Adam is judged for something that he knew that he did wrong, right? Now, Adam could say to God under this Islamic paradigm, "Hey, you created me to do this. I had no choice. You determined this for me.
And fixed it so that I
Wait,
cannot escape.
wait. And fixed it so I couldn't escape. So I was destined to always sin against you. How could I even call that sin if I had no choice in the matter?
Good.
So the whole concept of sin, the whole concept of judgment, right? Even the concept of forgiveness, because it's connected to all of these things.
Do you want to comment?
Don't make sense. Don't make sense in Islam.
Okay, go on.
Why? Because truly you can't hold a person accountable for their wrongdoing, because Allah determined that they would do wrong, and no one could go against that.
Yeah, no one can escape.
That's the problem, right? So I hope that made sense.
I understand your position. Do you want to talk or should I talk? Okay. Do you see, when you say that God didn't determine Adam to commit sin, you conceded that God's knowledge is fixed. And I'm saying fixed in our definition means he's determined. So we're just playing semantics.
I said all-knowing. My understanding.
I understand.
Is all-knowing.
I understand.
I'm saying when I talk about God's knowledge.
Otherwise, wait 1 second. I'll let you speak. I'll let you speak. Because God's knowledge is fixed, that means it's determined. Because fixed means there's no change. It's determined. That's what determination means. Okay. So you then have to then concede that God did determine Adam committing sin.
No. Because
Yes.
when you're describing it in the Islamic paradigm, going back to that hadith, these people.
No, come from your paradigm now.
No, I'm
you
going,
said
I'm
you're
going in between.
No. I'm going from your paradigm.
Yeah, I
now.
hear what you're saying, but
Yes.
let me explain.
Yes.
Right? When you're talking about sin, right, this legislative thing, right?
No, forget about that. Let's keep it simple for you. So you say that God commanded Adam not to eat from this tree, otherwise you will die.
Yeah.
Because Adam went against the will of God, God knew for this to happen, but he didn't determine for this to happen. Is that correct? Did I still man your argument correctly?
Yes.
Good.
So
I'm saying when we say God's knowledge is fixed, we mean God's determination. God determined it.
So you're saying that, okay, so to make sure that I understand this correctly then, so we've been going up back and forth on this for a long time. If, and I'll say this one more time, if God has determined me to commit adultery 5 times, but then he tells me 100 times I can read the Quran or whatever it is, don't commit adultery, this and that, there's no way that I'm not going to commit adultery 5 times because he's determined that.
Okay,
right?
so I'm going to simulate that. Okay, fine. Let me simulate that.
This is the point that I'm trying to make.
Go ahead.
When it comes to knowledge and force and fixed and can't escape.
Yeah,
right?
To support that, I just want to support that. The Prophet said, this is Sahih al-Bukhari 6614.
Yeah.
The Prophet said, Adam and Moses argued with each other.
Yes.
Moses said to Adam, "Oh Adam, you are our father who disappointed us and turned us out of paradise."
Yeah.
And Adam said to him, "Oh Moses, Allah favored you with his talk, and he wrote the Torah for you with his own hand.
Yes.
Do you blame me for the action which Allah had written in my fate 40 years before my creation?" So Adam confuted Moses, and Adam confuted confuted Moses, Adam confuted Moses. The Prophet added, repeating the statement 3 times. So Adam is saying that, I think that you're saying that you are being punished for my sin. Adam is saying the sin is not my fault.
No, he's not saying that.
That's what he's saying.
He's saying that God decreed for this to happen.
Yes, he says, in other words, say, don't blame me.
No.
It's not my fault. That's what that Adam is saying there.
In the sense that he went against the will of God, but God determined for this to happen.
So Adam is still exactly. Adam is saying it's not my fault.
Right. The thing is, okay. The point is
we would blame Adam.
We would blame Adam.
Wait. Does he say he's not to be blamed? Does he say that in the hadith?
Yeah.
He didn't say that. He just said God decreed for this to happen.
Yeah, but he's saying it's not my fault. That's why he would say. That's what the reason why he would say.
He's complaining it's not his fault.
Do you blame me for action which Allah had? Do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my?
No, you can't get off that.
Do you blame me for action which Allah had written in my fate 40s before my creation?
Thank you.
Do you blame me?
That is the point. We believe that God fixed everything, either obeying him or disobeying him. This is what the Adam is talking about. He's not saying I'm not to be blamed because I committed that sin. It's because I'm not blamed in the sense that God already determined for this to happen. But he's not saying, because he's saying it's written, but he's not saying that I'm not responsible.
we need to believe this to be a Muslim.
Yes,
would
we
you
have to believe in
why
that.
would you-
Yes, we have
If you
to
say
believe.
blame has got to do with who's
sorry.
accountable and who's responsible.
Sure.
That's why
No,
you
we
would say
believe
he's
in-
accounting
good,
blame.
good, good.
He's saying, why are you blaming
We
me?
believe in predestination, the good and evil, and the bad.
Predestination.
Yes.
Cheers. I wanted to ask another question. To be honest,
no,
I'm-
sorry. Can I go back to
Oh,
Timothy's
okay,
point?
sorry, go on.
So you simulate. So I'm going to simulate the example you gave from the hadith about adultery writing 10 times with Adam.
Okay.
The fact that in the hadith it mentions that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already fixed for this person to commit adultery. Okay? Now you know from the Quran and the Sunnah that God told us not to do it. God commanded us not to commit adultery, correct?
From what I know.
Yeah, of course. Okay? So
assume what
let
you're
me
saying.
simulate that into the story
Actually,
of Adam.
actually, can I say one thing?
Sorry, can I
Can
complete?
I? No, please. You said about adultery.
Okay.
Technically speaking, that's not true.
What? We're not
Because-
being told not to commit
no,
adultery?
No, because according to I'm not going to change the subject, but according to Surah 4:24, it allows you to have sex or to marry those in your possession.
No, but that's your definition of
No, hold
adultery.
on, hold on.
No, one
Hold
second.
on. Yeah,
One
but
second.
definitions are important.
Wait, one
Definitions
second.
are
Oh, no,
important because
no.
they're
Timothy,
already married.
Timothy, no, we're not
and you're
going-
allowed to marry them.
Okay,
That's adultery.
Right. That's your. That's,
That's
it doesn't matter.
That's universally understood as
That's
adultery.
okay. That's your understanding.
So I have to point that out.
But it's not.
Technically,
Okay,
talk
no
about
problem.
another sin, maybe.
It's okay,
That's
it's
fine.
okay,
But
so,
I
but
can't
you
give
put
that.
up adultery.
Can we
So
close
the
and
point-
do two
yeah,
minute-
yeah.
2 minute
So I'm saying.
conversation?
So you said.
okay?
You said
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Thanks,
Of course.
Tim.
You
I need to
said.
get something to
Yeah.
eat, man.
Likewise, do I hand?
Yeah. Sure. You said that Allah fixed for this person to commit adultery, whatever, 10
Yeah,
times,
like say,
right?
yeah.
And it's written down, right? Therefore, God determined, and therefore therefore you are not to be blamed. Okay. Whereas you believe in the story of Adam, that Adam was commanded not to eat from this tree, but because he went against the will of God, he died, obviously spiritually, yeah? So
Yeah,
he got
physically.
okay, fine,
Yeah,
physically.
but that's
Okay,
something
no
we
problem,
should
no
bear
problem.
in mind.
Right. And the reason why God punished Adam is because Adam was aware of God commanding him not to go from this tree. I'm saying it's exactly the same with the hadith, because God commanded us not to commit adultery, but because he determined for this person to commit adultery, and he knew from his knowledge, it's written down.
Do you see
So
how
there's
you
no-
said
there's no-
determined
there's no-
and no?
there's no-
Do you
there's no-
see
there's
that?
no contradiction.
No, but you see that.
problem
You
there.
said you,
That's
you're
the problem
conflating
there.
knowledge and determination. You're putting them together.
Thank
you said
you.
he knew, Allah knew, and also determined.
That's determined.
No,
Go on,
but
go on.
why are you saying two separate words?
Do you know what
You're-
do you know what determined means?
Do you? Because you're using them the same way.
I know what determined means.
What's the difference between in what you said, in what
Yeah.
you said just now?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the determination and the knowledge?
Okay, knowledge is possessing information.
Determination is
Determining meaning measured.
what?
Absolute measure, like in its
Determined
fixed measurement.
cause to occur in a particular
I don't
way.
go by Google definition.
Okay, so then tell me
No,
what.
wait,
So the
wait.
point is,
This is
wait,
about
one second.
establishing-
I'm saying no.
Let's give various
I'm saying
definitions come to a
wait, one
common
second.
understanding.
I'm saying determination means it's fixed.
We're back to
It
fixed.
says
In the
cause
dic- in
to
the
occur in a
dictionary,
particular
I don't
way
agree
or
with
to have a
dictionary.
particular nature.
We have our own Islamic definition.
Okay, but what
And
length-
sorry. So
What
the
do you use for causing something?
Yeah.
You don't use determined.
Yeah, we use qadr.
What?
Qadr meaning.
I'm so sorry, Tim.
Oh,
We're wrapping up.
No, I wanted to clarify.
Qadr means it's pre-measured.
is what is
In
what
its exact
wait,
measurement.
is what Allah
to fix conclusively.
yeah. So
to
is what Allah determines, is that fixed?
Yes.
Is His knowledge fixed?
Yes.
What's the difference?
There is no difference. That's my whole point.
That's,
Why?
That's the
no,
problem.
but you agree that God's knowledge is fixed. So he determined
I'm
it.
saying he's
So he
all-knowing.
determined. So he
He's
determined.
all-knowing.
But he determined.
Bro, I've given my explanation about
Do you know what? Fixed
Rayhan,
and
I've given my
determination are
explanation about
synonymous.
3 times.
Fixed and determination is
right?
synonymous.
I've given my explanation.
So then why
about
don't
3
you say
times.
that Allah determines you to sin?
Yeah.
So then you can't blame. Then you can't say that. There's, if, for example,
But you said,
wait, hold on a
why
second,
should,
hold on,
why
hold
should
on,
Adam
hold
be
on,
blamed then?
hold on.
Why should Adam be blamed if God determined?
No, we're not
But
going
you
back
say-
on that.
you say-
No,
We don't believe that, bro.
No,
We don't-
because
yeah.
because what
We
you're
don't
doing
believe
is what
that.
you're doing is in the Quran you know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded Adam not to eat from this tree. So he was commanded, just
I
like
don't know the Quranic version.
right. Then that's the problem.
No,
then.
no, that's
the problem.
fine. No, that's
Sorry,
fine. The
that's
problem is
It's
at
not
the
the
same.
problem. I'm
the-
using
at the
my
same-
own example from my scriptures. You know, so
I think
let
what
me-
you're doing is isolation.
I'm not. I do. Wait,
No,
don't
there's no
accuse
problem.
me.
It's
Wait.
not
Don't
problem.
There's no
say
problem.
I'm again
You don't have to
isolation.
agree with us.
Yeah, you have to agree.
What I'm saying is this, simply put, right? And I'll say it. Last thing I'll say, right? And then you can say whatever you say.
Okay, no
and then
problem. We're wrapping
right?
up. Yeah.
I'm saying, according to our understanding, right?
Sorry.
It makes sense for someone to be judged and them to be held accountable for their actions because they've been told
100%.
right not to do something,
Not determined to
And
do something.
However, if I was going within your paradigm, right, and it was and I sinned, I went against the legislative things, right, but I know that whatever I do has been determined by Allah, then how can I go against Allah's determination? Whatever He
But you're not going against Allah's determination.
Hold on.
That's my point.
If Allah has predestined that these things I will do,
right,
then I will do it. Right? That's going
Is that
to
what
happen.
Adam said? Is that what Adam said?
No, I'm talking from your perspective.
No, we believe in Adam.
No,
You don't know the Quranic version.
It's not about the Quranic version, bro.
You just said
it's
it.
not about the Quranic.
Should I bring up Surah
One
Al-Baqarah?
second.
It's
One
exactly.
second. One second. My example
My
friend,
it's in the Quran.
the point is,
Allah commanded him not to go from the street.
Rehan, the example that I gave.
It's exactly the same.
Rehan, the example I gave earlier was this: if Allah has determined that I'm going to commit adultery 5 times,
yes,
it doesn't matter if I hear Allah's words on it or not. I can't escape it. It's fixed. I will do it. And then when it comes to Judgment Day, wait, I want to land now, please.
Go on.
When it comes to Judgment Day, I'll look at Allah and say, hey, this is how you made me. You fixed it.
Okay.
How can you even be a fair judge?
Okay. Now,
this is a big problem.
Timothy,
This is a huge problem.
because you're not aware about the story of Adam in the Quran.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Adjust the scenario. Adjust the scenario.
I'll adjust it. No problem. I'll adjust it. I'll adjust it, Timothy. If we agree that Allah's knowledge is fixed means determination. So you agree? It's just semantics.
Excuse me.
I made my point very clear. I made my point very clear.
What does determination mean?
I went to the dictionary definition
And you rejected that.
Conclusive.
You rejected it.
So God concluded that Adam committed the sin.
definition.
Will commit the sin.
You rejected
God
the
knew
definitions.
that Adam would commit the sin. Correct?
I can come in here, please. Just for a second.
Sorry, one second. God created Adam, correct? God created the nature of Adam. God created the soul of Adam. So if Adam committed sin, then by logic and rationality, God must have created his sin.
Yeah, you're correct. Okay.
But he disagrees.
I know, I don't.
So he's coming from a different perspective.
No, I'm trying to come.
Okay, Timothy. That's okay. You make your point.
From a logical perspective.
Go on.
Holly, wait and hear this.
No, because what's going to happen is
right,
they're going to put on the cameras that we're all Christians.
You can say to the cameras.
You're gonna
I really have to go. Tony. I really have to go.
Clarify your position.
1 minute.
Okay.
Can we take
1 minute.
You have 1 minute.
Wes, we can speak later. Next
You
week.
guys missed the key word in your discussion.
No problem. It's a good debate.
You missed the key word in your discussion.
What's my key word?
Your key word was you're a compatibilist.
Talking about
I said that right from the beginning.
Okay, they didn't discuss that. They should have.
predestination,
You're a
fixing
compatibilist.
They don't allow me.
sins to people.
They don't allow me.
Why
They
did
be
you
held
guys spend all this
accountable
time
for sin
talking
that's
when you're
been
clearly
Because they keep interjecting. I said this all the
I
time.
do understand that
I said I'm a compatibilist. Did I say that?
I'm going to do my own
Yes,
some
yes.
more
Yes,
research.
go
on
straight,
that.
yeah. It's in a couple of weeks. I'm not in next week.
Okay,
In a couple of weeks' time.
discussion. Take care. Okay, take care.
Is that it? You're just going to...
Oh, we had this guy for like an hour, isn't it? Yeah.